So, welcome back, everyone. My next guest has also been on with me now several times. I have with me John Fidelo, and he is the owner of Fidelo Health and Employee Benefits Services. You got to tell everybody a little bit about you because today, before you walked in the door, you sat down and said, "Well, we're going to first off and talk about the Biden thing,"
Right.
and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I want you to go in and talk a little bit about you first, and kind of how you help people because you've been doing this for over 33 years.
Yeah, that's true. I've been an independent broker now for probably close to 30 years, but I found out early on, I worked for a major insurance company that as what they call a career agent. And I found out, I was dealing with a lot of business owners. I found out early on that I needed other choices. In other words, I had to function as a broker. I'd sit with a business owner. A business owner would say, look, I feel comfortable. I'd like to give you a chance. I'd like to work with you. But, I mean, is that all you have?
Mm-hmm.
So I quickly found out that I needed to have other options. If I was serious about the business and I was going to stay, I needed to have other options for people and be able to shop because that's the way that I would want to be treated.
Right. And having options, it's really important, especially today. I want to talk about the Affordable Care Act and what's going on with that.
Okay. The Biden administration opened up enrollment from February 15th to May 15th for the Affordable Care Act, and people can get on there. You don't have to have what they call a life qualifying event, right? Because technically it's beyond, the normal enrollment period. But you can go on there and potentially look at options. Now, when I work with people, I like to just help them understand all the variables, really to give them a good understanding of where, their agenda lies, if you will, If people understand all the variables, and I'm really, really good at taking a convoluted or complex subject matter and making it real easy, right? So that when the Affordable Care Act came into play, I mean, there's really some great things associated with it. One, if you have a difficult health issue, pre-existing health conditions, if you sign up with the Affordable Care Act, any of those companies have to pick up those health conditions from day one. So that's a positive, right? If a person's income is such where, depending upon their guidelines, if a person needs help with the premiums, like if you're self-employed, you're not making too much money, you can actually get help towards the premium, which is also something that's very, very handy. And then they have all these different mandates or ways that a person could be covered that's contractually in the Affordable Care Act, if you will. And those are where it runs into a little bit of an issue in terms of cost. There are great things associated with the Affordable Care Act, but the problem, or I don't know if that's the right word, but the things that you have to understand about how it's structured is it's an HMO only. And HMOs tend to have networks that have limited hospitals and that there are limited doctors involved with an HMO network. Now, I have doctors who are clients of mine. And the word with doctors is a lot of these doctors don't accept the Affordable Care Act because the length of time to get reimbursed and how they're reimbursed, there's an administrative issue here, and it's a problem for a lot of these docs. So a lot of docs want nothing to do with it, right? I'll give you an example. And this is something that we talked about another time before, but it's worth bringing up in this situation. So have this couple, and I do everything for these people. Really, really great, sweet people. Wife calls me up and says, look, I'm coming off of a group plan in November, and I understand Blue Cross and Blue Shield is back on the exchange. I don't know if people know, but for a while they were not on the exchange. So she said, my rheumatologist accepts Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I said, well, not necessarily. And she said, well, what do you mean? I said, call the office and find out. And 10 minutes later, she calls me back and says, you know what? They don't accept any Affordable Care Act plans, and I'm not going to change my doctor. What do we do? So the solution got a little complicated, but her and her husband own a separate corporation where they flip houses and make money. There was talk about bringing their adult son into the business, and we got to that space because their only real option, because this lady takes some complicated medicines, right? Any option that I had individually, medically underwritten option, she wouldn't qualify for. So really, the best solution actually came from this event where we brought the son on full time, and I was able to set up a two-person group with United Healthcare. which is the best game in town, right? So the other thing about the Affordable Care Act that folks need to know up front and understand is that if you live in Maricopa County and you sign up in Maricopa County, that's your service area. If you visit family out of the state, you're not covered. Now, this particular family, they have a condo in Aspen, right? They go skiing constantly. So it wasn't a fit really anyway for them because they travel quite a bit. They're out of the state quite a bit. Now, if they were on an Affordable Care Act plan, say they had a skiing accident, right? They would have to be out of pocket for the emergency room or a hospital stay or to be stabilized until they're brought back to the service area. And then depending upon the plan they may have a nice $8,550 deductible to meet before any benefits are paid, in addition to the out-of-pocket expense for that situation out of state or out of the service area.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, your service is free.
Right.
And we've been talking a lot about people educating people today. And that's what you're all about, is
Right.
making sure that people are covered, not only just correctly, but there's so many things that you can do to help them.
Right.
That they won't get that information from the person if they call up on the Affordable Care Act. You're probably going to get somebody that they're just going to guide you into whatever, and they're not going to talk to you about the fact that, just don't forget that when you leave Arizona, you're not going to be, they might not even say that.
And, it's great that you bring that up, okay, because I'll give you another example, and this is real important. I wanted to let people know there's an app you can get on your phone called Healthcare Blue Book, and it's free. And basically, Healthcare Blue Book is where, if, say you had to have a knee replaced, right, you go into Healthcare Blue Book, you put your zip code in, and the amount of miles radius around your home that you want to look into how the surgery could potentially be priced out on a cash basis. Right?
Wow.
So it's a very handy tool, and it shows you, to a certain extent, how much our healthcare system is broken. So all of this, what I'm driving towards, is it's about a solution. It's not just about, okay, well, here's the least expensive plan on the exchange, good luck with that, right? It's a solution, and here's the example. So we had a case where a lady needed a hysterectomy, okay? So Honor Hospital wanted $60,000, and then they wanted $24,000, but then somebody on Healthcare Blue Book was real helpful and said, look, you don't want to do this the conventional way because for a hysterectomy, you'll have a gynecologist that maybe does one or two of these surgeries a quarter. There's an outpatient facility called Pearl Women's Center, and there's 10 doctors in that organization that have real impressive resumes. What they do is hysterectomies, fibroid removal, and certain other things. But they have a cash price all in for $12,000. You can look at the resumes, these people are impressive, and that cash price covers complications of surgery. So this lady had what they call an indemnity benefit plan. There was a limited benefit in terms of the surgery, but it worked out where she was thrilled with the option. She was real comfortable after reviewing everything in terms of how these doctors work, and her indemnity plan paid out $13,200 on $12,000. So she put some money in her pocket, which is a home run with 3 guys on base.
Exactly.
Right? So that it's not so much, okay, here, sign up. It's because our healthcare system is broken in a lot of ways. It has to do with solutions. You have to be involved with people and give people an idea, right? Here's another example. Pregnancy, people wanting to have a baby. Now, the Affordable Care Act covers maternity like any other sickness, right? What I try to tell people is that you have to go through a deductible. In other words, all your prenatal care is really not going to be covered, and the delivery, all that has to run through that deductible. What I try to encourage people is if you're going to have a baby, the doctor that you're planning on working with, find out what hospital that doctor is affiliated with, because all of them have a maternity package. You could pay a small amount monthly, get all your prenatal and delivery covered, and then you could worry about complications of pregnancy with whatever health plan that you're on.
It's amazing how intricate this goes. But that's where you come in. And you've been doing it for over 33 years. Yeah. It's a free service to have a free consultation with somebody like John to be able to go over with you what you can do. And you go from having a baby to having no babies anymore, right?
Right.
To everything else, I'm sure. And your phone number to call, it's 205-8806. He's really excited. He's got a new website. It's called it's healthcaresimplified.info. Healthcaresimplified.info. You can also check him out on your LinkedIn. You're also there as well.
Right.
And it's John Fidelo, Fidelo. And you could check him out there if you want to. The best thing to do is give him a call and talk to
Well,
him.
yeah. See, the thing what I can help people with is I can give them variables, and I can help them understand different options. What they choose in terms of their budget and their agenda, none of my business. My job or my responsibility is I can lay out all these different options. If the Affordable Care Act option is the most sensible route based on maybe pre-existing conditions or income, then that's what you choose. But what I do get a lot of phone calls is, my doc was on, my Affordable Care Act plan, but now I got notification they no longer accept any Affordable Care Act plans. Can you refer a doctor to me, So these are certain things that you have to understand and know going forward, right? Blue Cross and Blue Shield, I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield personally for years, and it's a great organization. But the plans they have on the exchange have limited doctors and limited hospitals.
Call him direct. He does free consultations. It's all free for you. The number is 480-205-8806.